Tonight on CTV News at 6. Pack your patience.
We're seeing sicker people.
Officials at the largest hospital in the Northeast say wait times are long in the emergency room. Unsafe conditions.
I haven't seen a snow event like this where it's been multi-day cleanup.
School buses remain parked in Timmins. And winter reminder.
Definitely with the meter, if there's an unforeseen emergency where our crews need to come out and shut the gas off.
The importance of keeping gas meters and vents clear of snow and ice.
CTV News at 6 with Tony Ryma and Rick Wyman with weather.
Good evening. So glad you are with us on this Tuesday. OPP in Kirkland Lake issuing a shelter-in-place order around 1 o'clock this afternoon. A heavy police presence is concentrated around the Prospect Avenue and Government Road area as they respond to an ongoing incident. Police have not said what the incident is, but say it may involve an armed individual. They've asked people in the community to lock doors and windows and stay away from the area until further notice. Police in North Bay are warning of counterfeit bills circulating in the community. Police say several retailers reported receiving fake $50 bills. Many of the bills had the same serial number printed on them. While they resembled the polymer banknotes, police say the braille was printed on, not embossed, and the color of the bills was faded. Retailers are being told not to accept bills if they think they're counterfeit. A second-degree murder trial got underway in North Bay today. It was a gruesome crime that happened more than 3 years ago. CTV's Eric Tashner has more.
Brandon Nakaji faces a second-degree murder charge in the death of 33-year-old Tristan Ayres. The court heard Ayres bled to death in an LCBO parking lot in the early hours of December 17th, 2022, while he was trying to stay warm in a nearby alleyway. The court heard testimony that Ayres' body was discovered by police constable Brody Beard after he was tipped off by a woman that Ayres had been jumped by two men that morning. Beard drove to the LCBO parking lot where he found the body without any vital signs. A photograph was shown to the jury of first responders performing CPR on Ayres' body and the gruesome crime scene. Paramedic Shane Petrusma told the court Ayres had no vital signs or pulse. The Crown laid out its case, saying that Ayres and the woman were huddled in an alleyway by a fire to keep warm when Nakaji and another suspect showed up. The victim was believed to have been beaten with a stick and stabbed in the back by a knife. The knife used in the attack was never recovered. Trevor Goulet has already pled guilty to manslaughter in the death of Ayres. Superior Court Justice Greg Ellis reminded the jury before the trial started that their job is not to judge people, but consider the evidence and resist the temptation to jump to conclusions. The jury will hear from several witnesses, including the woman who was with Ayres. The Crown told the jury security camera footage from businesses will show Nakaji's movements to and from the parking lot that night. Reporting from the courthouse, Eric Tashner, CTV News, North Bay.
Timmins police are re-asking the public for help to solve a murder in 2022. Police say a 22-year-old Toronto man was killed December 18th at a home on Mount Joy Street South. The victim was killed by a single gunshot wound around 10 a.m. after an argument with an unknown male shown in this photograph. Anyone with information is asked to call police or Crime Stoppers. The UCCM Anishinaabe Police Service has laid charges after damage to public property Christmas Eve. Police were called in after a report of downed wires on Hill Street near Oak Hill Drive in Chiging First Nation. They found the hydro pole had been badly damaged, a stop sign had been knocked over, and there was damage to a community surveillance camera. Yesterday, police charged one person with theft, dangerous operation, and mischief. The OPP and the Greater Sudbury Police Service have released results from the Festive RIDE campaign to reduce impaired driving everywhere. While the increased enforcement over the holidays has wrapped up, police say random ride checks will continue throughout the year. CTV's Alana Everson reports.
Random ride checks were set up on roadways throughout the region over the holidays. Police say the anytime, anywhere checks led to several arrests for impaired driving by alcohol or drugs.
24 hours a day, we see that we're arresting impaired drivers. So as a result of that, we've adjusted from our traditional ride, in the evenings, to now expanding our ride program to the daytime to address the impaired driving during the day.
From November 20th to January 1st, the OPP in the Northeast region conducted 1,574 Festive RIDE spot checks across 12 detachment areas. The enforcement effort resulted in 76 drivers charged with alcohol drug-related offenses, over 80 or refusal. 14 warn range or zero tolerance suspensions issued. 128 total impaired driving related charges laid. In December alone, between ride checks and patrol, Greater Sudbury police officers arrested and charged 32 impaired drivers, 24 impaired by alcohol, 5 impaired by drugs, 1 impaired by a combination of alcohol and drugs, 1 who refused to comply with testing demands.
Impaired driving by drugs is the same as impaired driving by alcohol. It still impairs your ability to drive and operate a motor vehicle. And with the options that are out there, there's really no reason to be driving impaired.
The OPP and Greater Sudbury Police say drivers can expect ride checks to continue anywhere, day and night. They're also asking anyone who suspects a driver is impaired to report it. Alana Everson, CTV News, Sudbury.
Shifting gears now to the weather, we are transitioning from the cold to warmer temperatures. Here's CTV's Rick Wyman to tell us more.
I love that word, transitioning, Tony. It speaks volumes of the weather in the Northeast this week. Risk of freezing drizzle throughout the Northeast, with the exception of perhaps Parry Sound and Gore Bay. Forecast radar right now, we've got some precipitation pretty well south of Northeastern Ontario. Again, not really affecting us. We've got some light snow. We've got the risk of freezing drizzle throughout the Northeast and some milder temperatures, as you will see in a couple of minutes, with our current temperatures. And of course, we also have the 7-day forecast and our pick of the day. So again, get ready for some warmer weather. Then it turns cold again. Then it gets a little bit warmer. Details coming up, Tony.
Thanks for that, Rick. Clear the way. That story's still to come on CTV News at 6. But first, let's head to Elliott Lake. There's a live shot from the Miners Memorial, courtesy of the city of Elliott Lake. It's 1 degree. We will return in just a few minutes.
Fuel your Fridays with CTV and Pure Country. Enter online for a chance to win a $100 gas gift card. Fuel your Fridays. Powered by CAA. Life isn't one size fits all. Neither is CAA.
The owner of a Sudbury business is speaking out after she was the target of harassment and social media attacks. CTV's Angela Gemmell has her story.
Kim Bowie has spent more than 8 years building the Crystal Beauty brand in Sudbury, but it took just a few social media posts by someone else to tarnish that good reputation.
I would not want anyone ever have to go through what I went through.
Almost daily for 2 years between 2023 and 2025, Bowie and her business were the target of defamatory social media posts on Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, and WhatsApp. She says the lies and attacks got so bad she took the defamation case to court.
It's all about being honest, integrity, my dignity, and everything, every single word of those posts was all lie, because I am not that person.
The defendant originally lived in Sudbury before moving to Vietnam and did not respond to the lawsuit. The judge sided with Bowie and awarded her and another plaintiff $1.5 million and other court costs. According to one legal expert, these types of cases are a growing problem because of the increased use of technology, social media, and even bots. But he's not optimistic they'll ever see the money.
This is a very powerful, clearly worded, strong decision that meant to send a message to other people. Don't do this kind of slander and defaming. But when you have the defendant hiding out, across a number of oceans, Where does this really take us? I have a lot of sympathy for the business owner, the plaintiff that's been aggrieved here and has probably spent 2, 3, 4, 5 years of their life seeking justice.
Bowie says she came forward to help others trying to prove the truth.
I hope that their family and friends trust them and give them chance so then they can prove the truth, just like what I did.
Bowie says it's been difficult getting all the defamatory posts taken down, especially off Facebook, but she adds she is thankful for the customers and staff who believed her over the lies. Angela Gamble, CTV News, Sudbury.
Fedor has announced funding for 3 Sudbury organizations to help them grow their footprint. Fedor is providing $150,000 for the groups to hire youth interns for an 18-month period. The Afro Women and Youth Foundation, Downtown Sudbury, and Contact Interculturel Francophone de Sudbury are each receiving around $50,000. According to Fedor, this money helps youth in the community get valuable job experience and long-term employment. A 13-year-old boy has died from his injuries in Nova Scotia after being attacked by dogs Saturday. CTV's Hafsa Arif has the tragic details.
It's a quiet road in a less populated part of Shelburne County, a place where neighbors wave as they pass and everyone knows who lives where. Today, that quiet was broken by devastating news. A 13-year-old boy who lives along this road has died from injuries he suffered in a dog attack. People here describe a close-knit community, one that's now trying to come to terms with a sudden loss. Since the boy's death was confirmed, someone who lives nearby says the impact has been immediate and overwhelming. A distraught neighbor tells us that in a small community like this, everyone feels it. Now, police say the boy was bicycling near his home last Saturday evening when he was attacked by 3 large breed dogs. The boy suffered life-threatening injuries and was airlifted to hospital in Halifax. The dogs involved in the attack were later euthanized by a veterinarian. The municipality of the District of Shelburne confirmed the death in a statement released earlier today, calling the loss unimaginable and extending condolences to the boy's family, friends, and classmates. The Tri-County Regional Center for Education confirmed the boy was a grade 8 student at Shelburne Regional High School. In a statement, the center says, "A loss such as this is felt widely, and we recognize the impact it has across our schools and broader communities." As for the investigation, RCMP will only say they're looking into the circumstances of the attack. In the meantime, as this community mourns, residents say their focus remains on providing support to the boy's family and one another. Hafsa Arif, CTV News, Welshtown.
Officials are sharing a seasonal safety reminder. Don't forget to check your vents while shoveling this winter. The message follows an incident in Sault Ste. Marie over the weekend where snow buildup caused carbon monoxide to back up into a multi-residential building. CTV's Amanda Hicks reports.
When a snowstorm hits, for many, the priority is usually clearing the driveway or the car. But Enbridge says there is one area many homeowners overlook, and it can be dangerous.
Definitely with the meter, if there's an unforeseen emergency where our crews need to come out and shut the gas off, we want clear, accessible access to, we have a stop on a valve where we can shut the gas off to your home. But also your appliance vents too, that if they're blocked or clogged, there could be exhaust backdrafting in your home, potentially causing CO issues or malfunctions to your appliances.
The warning follows a scare in Sault Ste. Marie last weekend, where firefighters were called to a multi-residential building on Wellington Street for carbon monoxide exposure. One person was taken to hospital as a precaution.
There was registered notable points of carbon monoxide in the building, so then we started evacuating, removing residents from the building, assisting them out of the building, and then we called Enbridge Gas. They sent out, dispatched an employee to come and have a look, and the technician determined that carbon monoxide was basically being brought into the building from vents that were blocked outside from snow.
Enbridge recommends using your hand or a gentle brush to wipe the snow away to avoid damaging the pipes.
We use a soft bristled brush or soft bristled broom to remove the snow. No sharp objects. Do not try to be kicking any ice or whatnot away from it. The other piece is you want to look overhead too. If there's any overhang ice or a large amount of snow on your roof, you want to try and remove that too.
Gravel says there's no better time than now to do a floor-by-floor safety check. Clear your vents, test your alarms, and ensure you're compliant with the new regulations, which came into effect this year. Amanda Hicks, CTV News, Sudbury.
Public and private crews continue working on snow removal in Timmins. As CTV's Lydia Chubak explains, school buses are still not running, and officials are hoping there will be timelines at tonight's council meeting.
Timmins is getting a break from cold temperatures today, but the word snow continues to be everyone's favorite four-letter word.
I haven't seen a snow event like this where it's been multi-day cleanup.
I don't think we've seen that much snow in one shot in a long time.
Hartling and Beaudry have different jobs, but both are in the business of snow safety. Beaudry owns Gorilla Property Services.
A lot of companies will go out and plow, but they won't get out of the vehicle, or the backhoe or the tractor or whatever they're using. So we go out and snow blow, then we go out and shovel, which people appreciate because people just either don't want to go out and shovel their walkways and stairways and entrances and stuff, or they just physically can't.
Well, Beaudry's son Matt is doing his part to make walkways safer for residents. The Northeast Tri-Board Student Transportation Consortium says it's unsafe for school buses to be operating.
There's just a lot of dangers that are present. Sidewalks not being open up, large snow banks that create visibility issues. Just where are the students going to stand and wait for the bus? You know what I mean? We don't want them in roadways, things like that. So we have to give time for the municipalities to clean the snow and make it safe.
Hartling says 80 school buses in Timmins do 150 runs every day and travel every street except one-ways and dead ends. Hartling says until municipal officials in Timmins, Matheson, Cochrane and Iroquois Falls provide timelines, he can't say when buses will be operating again.
Logistically, it's very difficult to try to make some plans without knowing all the information where we can go. So in the coming days, we're going to have our drivers go out, not in school buses, but to go out and take a look and see which runs are possible.
CTV's requests for interviews with Timmins Public Works have yet to be granted, but at tonight's City Council meeting, Councillor Bill Gazdanovich will be asking for a storm response update. He also wants to know when snow will be removed. Lydia Chubak, CTV News, Timmins.
All right, back now for a check on your current conditions. Once again, here's Rick.
Well, we've come a long way since Lydia was doing snow angels on her street as a result of that storm. Here we are a week later and the snow is still there, but a much different picture here in the Northeast. Our forecast radar, as issued by Environment Canada, we've got a freezing drizzle advisory. And of course, you're advised to take it easy this evening and overnight with those slick conditions. Let's get to our current temperatures meanwhile and have a look at what's happening this evening. Mainly overcast skies throughout the Northeast. Moosonee -9, Cochrane -9, and Timmins -4. Last night at the same time, Moosonee was at -23. Fog in Kapuskasing at -6, -5 in Chapleau. Fog in the Wawa and the Sioux. In the Sioux -2 and Wawa -6 this hour. In Parry Sound, -4 degrees. In North Bay, -4. Temiskaming Shores, -8. And the same for Kirkland Lake. Sudbury Nickel Belt, -5. Espanola, -3. Elliott Lake, -3. And fog in Gore Bay. Your 7-day forecast and the pick of the day all coming up in just a couple of minutes. Tony, back to you.
Thanks for that, Rick. The Prime Minister is in Europe. Next on CTV News at 6. Mark Carney wraps up his meetings in Paris and the future of Ukraine. And a new reality in Calgary with recurring water restrictions. The Prime Minister was in Paris today to discuss Ukraine's security priorities. As CTV's Mike LeCouture explains, allies in the Coalition of the Willing signed a statement pledging their support.
Ahead of the meeting hosted by French President Emmanuel Macron, Prime Minister Mark Carney said the goal was to finalize security guarantees for Ukraine. World leaders were joined by representatives from the U.S., hoping to build on the momentum towards peace.
Our main objective is to finalize the security guarantees amongst ourselves which create the possibility of a just and lasting peace for Ukraine.
The meeting brought together more than 30 world leaders who make up the Coalition of the Willing. They agreed to participate in a U.S.-led ceasefire monitoring and verification mechanism, long-term support for Ukraine's armed forces, plus a multinational force to backstop Ukraine's military. There was also agreement on finalizing binding commitments to support Ukraine in the event that Russia breaks the ceasefire. And the countries agreed to deepen long-term defense cooperation with Ukraine.
Following a ceasefire, the UK and France will establish military hubs across Ukraine and build protected facilities for weapons and military equipment to support Ukraine's defensive needs.
Now, Canada's contribution could include troops on the ground as part of that multilateral backstop, something the government is ramping up for.
The largest military buildup in generations, coming over the course of the next 5 years, an additional $80 billion of investment, in part because of issues like this.
U.S. buy-in is key to any plan succeeding, and President Trump's envoy is supportive of this one.
We think we're largely finished with security protocols, which are important so that the people of Ukraine know that when this ends, it ends forever.
Regardless of the result of today's meeting, nothing can be put into place until there is a ceasefire. Prime Minister Carney reiterated the final elements of that need to be negotiated between the U.S., Ukraine, and Russia. Mike Lecouture, CTV News, Paris.
With Venezuelan dictator Nicolas Maduro charged in New York, U.S. President Donald Trump says he will run the country. But as CTV's Joy Melvin tells us, the plan for leading Venezuela remains unclear.
The U.S. president taking a victory lap at the renamed Trump Kennedy Center.
It was brilliant tactically.
Donald Trump reveling in the American military might that captured former Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro, now in a U.S. prison charged with narco-terrorism.
We had a lot of boots on the ground, but it was amazing. And think of it, nobody was killed, and on the other side, a lot of people were killed. Unfortunately, I say that, soldiers. Cubans, mostly Cubans.
Tensions are high in Caracas after gunfire erupted overnight. Armed military police now patrolling the streets. The U.S. president insists he's in charge and will run Venezuela and help rebuild its oil infrastructure. Maria Machado, the democratically elected opposition leader who's in hiding, vowed to return, praised Trump's actions.
What he has done, as I said, is historic. It's a huge step towards a democratic transition.
And yet the Trump administration isn't focused on that, supporting Maduro's hand-picked vice president as leader, saying the U.S. can work with her.
The initial hopes that the departure of Maduro might represent a change in this hated regime have been dashed, seemingly endorsed by the United States, a woman who's got significant amounts of blood on her hands.
Trump's national security strategy suggests America will exert more control. The State Department posting this with the words, "This is our hemisphere." The president warns Colombia could be next, that country beefing up troops on the Venezuelan border. And Greenland on edge after Trump's closest advisor said this.
For the United States to secure the Arctic region, to protect and defend NATO and NATO interests, obviously Greenland should be part of the United States.
Donald Trump's threats have rattled several countries as many question what comes next for the people of Venezuela and when or if there will be elections. Joy Melvin, CTV News, Washington.
Water woes continue in Alberta today as the mayor of Calgary is reiterating the need for residents to limit their water use.
We are entering loss of life territory where if we continue on our current trends, we will not have the water pressure needed to maintain our fire hydrants. So this is a very important issue. Ways that we can help is by only flushing your toilets when necessary, keeping your showers to about 3 minutes, only running the dishwasher and laundry when they're full. This is an incredibly urgent situation that we're in for the next few days.
The section of pipe that was damaged was removed and the area is now being inspected. The replacement pipe is on site and installation will begin after that inspection is completed. Meanwhile, some people living in South Edmonton are on day 5 without running water. The issue was caused by a water main break on New Year's Eve. CTV's Nicole Weisberg has that story.
This is just all that happens. It's like just the air, it doesn't even turn on. It's just got no air in it either.
The taps have literally run dry at South Ridge Townhomes. Dozens of suites have been without running water since New Year's Day.
It makes it really hard to make sure that my cats have water, showering, doing laundry, cleaning. I kind of miss doing dishes right now.
On January 1st, owners Avenue Living informed renters there had been a water main break and the water was being shut off for repairs. The next day, it said the repair was not completed as planned and it was still working to find and fix the issue. After it became clear that the repairs would take longer than a day, Avenue Living brought in 15 porta potties for residents. But in minus 20-degree weather, some people are refusing to use them.
That's too cold. Maybe in the summertime, it'd be appropriate, but I don't think anyone's using it.
Avenue Living is providing daily water to tenants. Jeremy Jarvis says he's gotten one 18-liter jug a day. Not nearly enough for his family's needs. You have 5 kids?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, and no water?
No. We've been using the snow to shovel into buckets and melt, then just use that to flush the toilets.
As of Monday afternoon, Avenue Living said it had restored water to 190 of 232 suites, and it expects to bring more suites back online this week.
Hopefully today. I'm hoping today. I'm positive for today.
I just would like my water back on, you know?
The owners say the cause of the water main break is still under investigation. Nicole Weisberg, CTV News, Edmonton.
And there's more news still ahead, but first, here's your full weather forecast with Rick.
Breaking news, Tony. I just found out that Keith Urban and Nicole Kidman have split up after 19 years. I don't know what to say about that, so I'll talk about the weather. How's that? Forecast radar, here we go. There's a freezing drizzle advisory as issued by Environment Canada. I can't make this stuff up. We've got the possibility of some snow or rain later on this week, so we'll get to that momentarily. And we'll also take out, well, maybe some of the temperatures for overnight so you can have a look at what's happening. Some light snow right across the northeast or the chance of flurries. Sudbury, Sault Ste. Marie, Timmins, and of course continuing into other areas as well like North Bay. Moosonee, light snow, minus 12. Caphurst, some light snow, some flurry activity. Wawa, Gore Bay, and Perry Sound with snow overnight at minus 3 degrees. Now your 7-day numbers. Sudbury Nickel Belt. Chance of flurries tomorrow at 0, 2 degrees on Thursday, some cloud cover Friday, rain, snow mix. Again, flip a coin according to Environment Canada, 2 degrees your high. Minus 2 Saturday, chance of flurries. Sunday, we've got sun and cloud minus 7 and a chance of flurries on Monday at minus 4. Normally, you should be sitting at minus 8 degrees. Now for Sault Ste. Marie and Algoma. For Wednesday, we've got chance of flurries at 0. Thursday, cloud cover 4 degrees. Friday, chance of sleet at 40%, 3 degrees. Chance of flurries minus 1 Saturday. Sunday, cloud cover minus 3 and the chance of flurries on Monday at 0. So the temperatures are up, temperatures are down, just like the conditions. Timmins, Cochrane, Kapuskasing. Chance of snow tomorrow, minus 3. Cloud cover Thursday, 2 degrees. Chance of snow on Friday, minus 1. Chance of flurries Saturday, minus 3. Then it gets real cold. Sunday, sun and cloud at minus 10. Then it warms up again, minus 4. Monday, chance of flurries. And normally you should be sitting at around minus 11. So your temperatures are all over the place, in addition to that snow in the area. Temiskaming Shores, Kirkland Lake. Chance of light snow tomorrow, minus 1. 3 degrees on Thursday, some cloud cover. Friday, we've got snow or rain, 3 degrees. Saturday, chance of flurries, minus 1. Sunday, minus 8 on the cool down. And Monday, once again, with the chance of flurries at minus 4. Normally, you should be sitting at minus 10. So unusually warm temperatures for this time of the year in early January. North Bay, West Nipissing. Chance of flurries at 60% for tomorrow, minus 1. 5 degrees Thursday with the cloud cover. Friday, rain or snow. Take your pick. 5 degrees your high. 1 degree Saturday. Chance of flurries. Sunday, we've got some cloud cover, minus 6, and the chance of flurries 40%, minus 3. So again, good luck with the weather. It is warmer. That's what people wanted. And then it'll start to cool down by the weekend. Let's have a look at our pick of the day. This is a sure sign of winter. Rose Russo, how much snow in Sault Ste. Marie? Well, Rose, your guess is just as good as mine. And we've got family out there playing around in the snow, shoveling, and taking a look at things. So again, great pick, great indication of the winter weather in the Soo. ER wait times are, well, mixing around the north in terms of more high than low type thing. We'll have that story coming up in just a couple of minutes after the break.
Be prepared to wait. That's the message from the Sudbury Hospital as it's experiencing higher patient demand. CTV's Lindsay Alick reports.
Health Sciences North shared a post Sunday saying they are experiencing higher patient volumes in recent days due to the impacts of the respiratory and influenza season.
We're seeing sicker people. So we're seeing higher admission rates. Typically we would see maybe 18% people that present to the emergency department being admitted, and today and over the last couple of weeks, we've been seeing that as high as 25%.
He says if it's a life and limb situation, you will be seen right away. But those with lower acuity could wait over 7 hours in the ER.
We have to manage all of our resources, not only emergency department resources, but access to diagnostics, etc., as patient burden comes in. So that does create a challenge.
Sudbury MPP Jamie West was at the hospital earlier this week visiting a family member and says he saw just how busy it was firsthand.
I know it spiked today, but we've been hallway capacity since before I was elected, right? So there was a problem with a lack of funding on the Liberals. Is continuing under Doug Ford. Doug Ford sort of doubled down into privatization. So a lot of our funding is going to private. So there's the normal cost of the procedure plus the profit margin. So it's making it harder to make ends meet, right? And so we really need to start funding our hospitals adequately, the way we expect them to be funded.
As for how long this will last, McNeil anticipates demand will continue to be high until at least mid-January.
Whether or not we receive relief earlier or later will really depend on local circumstances. And of course, we all can help out in the public by doing things like getting immunized. Probably I would see this stress well into the end of January, if not early into February. And with that, of course, we're just asking the public, be patient with our staff.
As HSN continues to be over capacity, McNeil says they continue to work with the ministry on expansion plans. But due to a complicated planning process, he says that won't come to fruition for at least 10 years. Lindsay Alick, CTV News, Sudbury.
And officials at Sioux Area Hospital also say they're experiencing high patient volumes. As of today, the hospital is at 119% capacity. In a social media post, the hospital says the team prioritizes care for the sickest people first to ensure they receive timely treatment. Officials add that some patients are being cared for in unconventional spaces such as alcoves, hallways, and dining rooms. The North Shore Health Network is advising of an emergency department closure in Thessalon. It will be closed from 8 a.m. tomorrow, January 7th, to 8 a.m. Thursday, January 8th. Blind River and Richards Landing sites will remain open. Those needing immediate medical care should call 911. It's one of the most popular pets in Canada, but animal rescue centers warn a parrot crisis is growing as resources shrink. That's why the largest parrot rescue in Eastern Ontario is launching a pilot program aimed at stopping the problem from getting worse. CTV's Caitlin Wilson has more.
Hi, Sammy. It's snack time, and at 71 years old, it's a routine Sammy knows by heart. He came to Parrot Partners Canada after outliving his original owner and now calls the rescue home along with 54 other aging and surrendered birds.
We get them from all walks of life all the time, and we generally get up to about 5 a week inquiries. Will you take my bird?
She says it's a crisis quietly unfolding across the country as rescues like hers struggle to keep up.
The care system is this patchwork of individual people, mostly doing it out of their homes. And they're doing it because they see that there's nobody there for them.
The issue? Parrots can live a long time, some up to 80 years. But as caregivers age out, rescues are shrinking, compounded by a shortage of avian veterinarians. And unlike cats and dogs, there's no safety net when owners can no longer care for them, even as parrots continue to be bred and sold in pet stores, some for thousands of dollars.
We're still dealing with birds that were bred in the 70s and 80s. They're still in the system, and we're still pumping out new birds.
This is April, a 30-year-old African gray who could live another 30 years. That's why the organization is testing a 3-year pilot project, the first of its kind, to see whether having a plan, a guaranteed place to go, and early support can stop the parrot crisis from worsening.
Rather than using the traditional rescue model, we're looking at it from an insurance or a pension point of view.
Under the pilot, adopters would pay a $20 monthly fee, helping cover ongoing support, education, and boarding, with the guarantee the parrot can return if it can no longer be cared for. The goal? To keep parrots in one stable place for as long as possible.
We're doing a fundraiser for it now. Mathematically, this might be what allows professional rescues to take hold.
Giving more parrots like Sammy a soft place to land well into their golden years. Caitlin Wilson, CTV News, Carleton Place.
It was not the result they were looking for. Still ahead on CTV News at 6, Canada leaves the World Junior Tournament in Minnesota with a bronze medal.
Clothing provided by Laura, Melanie Lynn.
Canada won a medal at the World Junior Hockey Championship in Minnesota. The Canadians down Finland 6-3 to take bronze.
McKenna centers it. Here's Hayes with the backhand shot, ripping it down, rebound, score!
Sam O'Reilly scored twice, and Gavin McKenna had a goal and 3 assists, helping the Canadians to the victory. Sioux Greyhounds forward Brady Martin did not dress for the game last night after an injury in the semifinal Sunday. And the medal is Canada's first at the World Juniors in 3 years. Sweden, by the way, won gold after downing Czechia. It's a Canadian first, an all-girls rink in Cape Breton, Nova Scotia. The rink will play host to a preliminary Women's World Junior game tonight. CTV's Ryan McDonald talked with those at the rink today about women's hockey and how much it's growing.
When members of the Cape Breton Blizzard female hockey program hit the ice this afternoon at the Keogh Forum, they were joined by the Prime Minister's wife, who once played for Oxford University back home in England.
Our practice time was, I think, 1 till 2 a.m., so not the best practice time.
At ice time, that reflected having to settle for whatever was left after the men were finished playing. Diana Fox-Carney couldn't have fathomed back then skating in a rink like this one that is entirely set aside for women's and girls hockey.
You're right, you said, did you imagine it could be different? And I guess I probably didn't imagine. You know, I always thought we'd be picking up the leftovers, but not anymore.
Since this newly renovated rink at Cape Breton University opened at the start of this season, the girls here have had a first-rate facility to play in, the only one quite like it in the country. This evening, Fox-Carney will be dropping the puck before a pre-tournament game here at the Keogh Forum between Switzerland and Sweden, who are here for the World Women's Under-18 Hockey Championship, an event that gets underway here on Cape Breton Island in just a few days.
It's going to be a bit of a girls hockey festival this weekend.
Welcoming Team Canada and the rest of the world will be a cherry on top for female hockey on the island, which has grown leaps and bounds in recent years.
The last 5 years have been a whirlwind, from forming in 2020 to growing from essentially 10 teams and 150 players to over 425 players, and now having our own home arena and hosting the Women's Worlds U18s. It's been an incredible journey.
Fox-Carney, meanwhile, says she's a fan of the Professional Women's Hockey League, and with the PWHL playing a game in Halifax last month, what does she think of the idea of league expansion to here in the Maritimes?
I think it's high time for a PWHL team this side of the country. That would be great. I mean, you're not far from Boston and New York, and it makes sense to me. I don't know what the politics are, but I think it would be great. Is there a chance of that? I hope.
For now, the hope is to keep growing the women's game, and a visit like today's certainly didn't hurt. Ryan McDonald, CTV News, Sydney.
And speaking of the Women's World Junior Championships, good luck to Sault Ste. Marie's Women's World Junior Championships. Good luck to Sault Ste. Marie's Maya St. Pierre. The 17-year-old goaltender plays for the OWHA U22 Elite Squad in Etobicoke, but will be representing her hometown and Team Canada at the event. Team Canada will take on Switzerland to open the tournament Saturday. And only one game in the NOJHL this evening. The Sault Thunderbirds land in Blind River to take on the Beavers. Game time is 7 p.m. Hockey isn't the only sport heating up the ice. The Canadian National Figure Skating Championships kicked off today in Gatineau, Quebec. Now, CTV's Peter Sperling tells us this competition will show us who is headed to Milan next month to compete at the Olympics.
There's excitement on the ice in Gatineau.
And I'm so excited to compete here.
Figure skating champion Leah Cho looking forward to competing at the 2026 Canadian National Skating Championships.
My favorite part of competing is showing everyone how much I love this sport, and it's just performing and jumping.
The event taking place this year at the Slush Puppy Center.
This is the biggest event of the year for us. You know, this is a junior and senior competition. 300 athletes from across the country competing in singles, pairs, ice dance, and synchronized skating.
Now, if you want to get up close to the action, there are several events every day this week, with many looking forward to Sunday when we find out who will represent Team Canada at this year's Winter Olympics.
Nationals is always a big deal, but every four just gets a little more attention.
We just appreciate seeing the figure skating in person.
For Kathy White, who drove from Toronto, attending is a tradition.
We've been coming to the Canadian National Figure Skating Championships every year since 1992.
I'll tell you, there's some awesome signatures on this.
Tom Ray not here to add autographs to his flag, but cheer on skaters.
You know, if we run into some, that'd be great, but no, it's not really that I'm trying to get more signatures. I want to wave it for them.
Goals and excitement for fans and athletes.
I think I did very well. This was my best skate of the season, so very good timing on the national stage.
I really hope I could see myself competing in the Olympics one day, and also competing at Worlds and representing Canada.
Peter Sperling, CTV News.
Entertainment brought to you by the Cinefest Red Carpet Patron Program.
The nominees for this year's Big Animation Awards have been announced, and a documentary marking a grim anniversary is set for release. David Daniel has the latest in tonight's Hollywood Report.
You think we're just going to let you steal our fans?
K-pop Demon Hunters still has plenty of fans. It's up for a leading 10 nominations, including Best Picture at this year's Annie Awards, honoring the best in animation. Elio also received 10 nominations and is up for Best Picture. The other Best Picture nominees are Little Amelie or The Character of Rain, Zootopia 2, and The Bad Guys 2. The 53rd Annie Awards take place February 21st.
I said, there's no way if fire was going to make it all the way to our house.
That's downtown Altadena.
And it did. This was our family legacy.
He moved into a black community where we are not on the priority list to save our lives. They've been wanting to get us out of there for a very long time.
The documentary All the Walls Came Down shows many survivors of last year's devastating Eaton fire are facing a second disaster. Mortgage relief and rental assistance are running out, and families who lost generational wealth are at risk of displacement and homelessness. The film debuts on the LA Times website and YouTube channel Wednesday, the one-year anniversary of the Eaton fire. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Canadian oil stocks were dragged down yesterday by the news from Venezuela. Concerns around the future of the sector spurred investors again today. BNN Bloomberg's Marilla Fernandez has more.
Canadian oil companies had been hoping for a stock rebound today, but didn't get it. They got hit on Monday after the weekend capture of the Venezuelan leader. It raises concerns about a bigger supply of oil coming from that country under Washington's guidance, and that could compete or replace Canadian oil exports. Cenovus Energy, Athabasca Oil, and Canadian Natural Resources stocks were all down again today. Here are the closing numbers for the day. The Canadian dollar is down to 72.42. West Texas Intermediate down over $1 to 57.13. Western Canadian Select is up 51 cents to 44.44. And the TSX gained 188 points today for the second record close of the week. Those are your business headlines. I'm Marilla Fernandez.
And here are the current prices for some key commodities we watch. Gold up $45.79, closing the day at $44.94.79 US an ounce. Silver up $4.66 to end the day at $81.27. Copper moved ahead 19 cents to $5.95. And nickel slipped 7 cents, ending the day at $7.65 US a pound. And Rick is back now for one last look at your Wednesday weather.
Well, Tony, no sunshine and lollipops for tomorrow. Let's check out our temperatures by tomorrow morning. Some light snow, 0 Greater Sudbury, -3. Timmins, chance of light snow, chance of flurries in the Sault as well. Meanwhile, North Bay, we've got -1 chance of flurries, cloudy conditions in Parry Sound, and Temiskaming Shores -1 with the chance of light snow. Wish it could be brighter, Tony, but not tomorrow. Back to you.
Rick, and finally, for the second time, an Edmonton man is planning on sleeping in an igloo for charity. Tyler Gamblin and his family created this igloo cabin. 4 years ago, he created a similar structure and spent 5 days sleeping in it for charity. This year's cabin took the family about 50 hours to build, filling Tupperware containers with water and food coloring 650 times.
We probably used 70, but we were down to about 35 at the end because they crack and expand and it's a bit of a mess. About -15 and below is good weather for doing this. Anything less and the ice just takes a little bit longer to set.
He says he hopes to raise $10,000 for free play for kids, a local sports charity for children of all ages. He says he will sleep in the igloo cabin once the GoFundMe reaches its goal. What a great idea and colorful. And folks, that's CTV News at 6. I'm Tony Ryma. Thanks for watching. More news comes your way at 11:30 with Ian Campbell. Good night.